Welcome back to another episode of Wrestle Capsule, where you're going to be getting your weekly dose of pro wrestling talk. And I'm your host, B. So welcome back to the show. Today, we are going to be talking about Friday Night Smackdown. I'm really excited to talk about this. There's some things that I want to highlight within this show. There's things that I loved, and there's things that I was like, about. But overall, it was a good show. Me personally, I enjoyed it. So what we're going to do is start off with the women's tag team tournament, the tag team champion tournament. And with this one, I believe this is round 2, and it was Xia Li and Shotzi versus Raquel Rodriguez and Aliyah. First things first, I love the fact that, once again, we're starting off, one, with the women. Hey, I'm a little biased. It is what it is. And 2, starting off with the women's tag team championship tournament. Because, once again, this is a way of Triple H and creative rebuilding. I won't even say rebuilding, just building in general the women's tag team championship, because it needs that in order for the WWE universe to really be invested in this championship. There needs to be value added to it, and I feel like the fact that it is first is pretty important. It really is, and I'm happy that we're starting to see this with both Raw and SmackDown. So, what did I think about this match, round 2? It was a good match. I was entertained. I wasn't bored. It was action-packed. It wasn't really slow moments. But there were a few things that caught my eye that I was just like, a little sloppy. But yeah, one of the things that I saw that really caught my eye the first time was when I believe Xia Li was on ringside and Aliyah was about to do a crossbody. She was on the edge of the ring near the apron, and she was about to do a crossbody. And then she did it. And honestly, that did not look like a crossbody to me. That looked like a cross face, because she landed on her face, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, is Xia Li okay?" That did not look like a crossbody. That looked like a cross face. But it is what it is. I'm just happy that Aliyah is getting some shine instead of being a freaking jobber and a part of a squash match all the time. But yeah, I noticed that. And then there was another time when I believe Shotzi was pinning Aliyah, and the referee was like, 1, 2, and Aliyah jumped, like she jumped up. And Raquel ran over and was just like it was so last minute. It was like a very slow reflex. I'm just like, what was that for? I wish I could show video clips, but you know how YouTube is. But yeah, I was just like, what is this? It's just like, I'm here for you. It was so. I'm sorry. I see the little things, okay? If you don't like it, you don't like it. But, I mean, I'm going to have fun on this show regardless. There's just things that I see. Things that you guys see and you might not talk about. I'm going to talk about them. So, it was fun. That part, I was just like, come on, Raquel. Move faster. I get that you're big and you're a strong woman, but come on, sis. You're a little too late on that. Aliyah already jumped up. She didn't even get to 1, 2, 3. So, you're good. And quite honestly, I was thinking that Raquel Rodriguez and Aliyah was such a mixed match team. It's just like big woman, small woman. But it ended up working out. And they ended up taking the win. The baby faces went over the heels. It was so good to see Shotzi Blackheart getting some shine. It was good seeing Aliyah get some shine. It was good seeing Xia Li get shine, because they're all solid to some extent. And of course, Raquel Rodriguez, she's just plowing through women left and right. Like I was saying before, I think it was on last week's SmackDown during the whole gauntlet match. Yeah, she's just been... But yeah, in the end, having Raquel Rodriguez and Aliyah win was really good. And honestly, Shotzi and Xia Li looked solid, even though that they lost. I don't know how far Raquel and Aliyah are going to get, because I feel like, I'm not saying that Aliyah's not good, but I feel like that team is going to be heavily relying on Raquel's strength. Point blank, period. So I wonder how long that's going to last. What I liked within this round 2 was the fact that Sonya Deville and Natalya were at ringside, just standing near the tag team belts, just looking and seeking out and checking out their competition. Of Sonya Deville and Natalya. One, I don't even, like I said before, it's weird seeing them as a tag team. I mean, I know they're both heels now. Natalya's a heel now, and Sonya has always been a heel. I don't get it, but whatever. But then again, I didn't get Natalya and Shayna Baszler when they were tag teams, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, we're gonna see. So this whole Drew McIntyre promo. Drew McIntyre is one of my favorites. I can't wait for a belt to be put back around his waist. Quite honestly, for someone who was a champion during, I call it the Rona era, he did a darn good job. And ever since then, I've been wanting him to become champion again, to be the face of WWE again. When there's a crowd, everyone's back in the arenas and stadiums. I want him to become champion. Every time he does a Claymore, I'm just like, Claymore! I get so hyped when he's in the ring, and I get so hyped when he starts speaking on the mic. So basically, in his promo, he's basically saying he's going to put Karrion Kross in a graveyard, and that Roman Reigns needs to remember that he struggled to beat Brock Lesnar, but Drew McIntyre was able to beat Brock Lesnar and win the championship in the first place. So I was just like, okay, show them who you are, Drew McIntyre, show them who you are. And then all of a sudden, Karrion Kross's music comes on. And then Scarlett comes out, and she's a distraction. She's a full-on distraction, because with her coming out, then the Usos are able to blindside Drew McIntyre and attack him. And then after they attack him, then they're looking at Scarlett, and they're basically like, yo, where your man at? Where your man at? He next. Where your man at? And Scarlett is just she's so, I don't even know how to describe her. She's the perfect match. Like in the character, she's the perfect match for Kross. Like she is more than a manager. She's that key ingredient to the, like, I don't even want to say mysterious, but just dark, intriguing aspect of Karrion Kross as a whole character. Like, the two, they just go together like peanut butter and jelly. And speaking of that, I almost forgot the whole promo with Karrion Kross in the back, and then Scarlett being back there, like, ugh. I almost forgot how, like, creepy and good. Creepy and good. Who would thought those two adjectives would go together? Creepy and good. How creepy and good Karrion Kross is with his promos. And I love how he addressed him and Scarlett being released from WWE without actually saying that they were released from WWE. Like, the promo was just so crafted. And I want to read I want to read an excerpt from his promo. Give me just a second. He was talking about how they were cast out of paradise, WWE, and disregarded like a broken toy to be forgotten. Karrion Kross says, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, the chosen ones, must be nice. Us, cast out of paradise, disregarded like a broken toy to be forgotten, but we never forgot. We prepared and waited for the perfect time to strike with vengeance. Yes, vengeance. Everybody knows about the bloodline. Now we're going to show them the new timeline. TikTok, I don't have my watch on today, but TikTok. Because no matter when the time is told, in the end, everybody pays a toll. TikTok. So, mic drop. Mic drop. So that was just perfect. Perfecto. Loved it. Freaking loved it. Come through promos. I'm loving these promos that are coming out of SmackDown. So the whole thing with Kofi Kingston and the Viking Raiders, that whole segment makes sense. Viking Raiders are coming out and Kofi Kingston, him and his freaking kendo sticks, comes out from behind him and starts whipping the mess out of him, And I'm like, uh-oh, he about to get his advantage again. He's about to get him again. But things didn't work out the way I thought it was. And it makes sense because it's 2-on-1. Kofi is small man, and you got these two big dudes, these two big heels that are on a tear. And they ended up getting the best of Kofi. that secret sneak attack worked out a little bit, but Kofi Kingston ended up on the ground, not moving, and the Viking Raiders got the best of him. It happens. It is what it is. It is what it is, but they got payback. They got payback from last week. You know, what goes around comes around. Fast forward. Hit Row is back. Hit Row is back. You got Top Dollar. You got Ashanti Adonis. Am I saying his name right? The Adonis. Sorry. Ashante the Adonis. And then you got B-Fab. So I was not expecting this. I was not expecting it. It's cool that they're back. And it's dope because under Triple H, they can only get better. Quite frankly, I feel like their call up from NXT to SmackDown originally when that happened, I felt like that was too soon. I feel like they needed more time. So now that they're back after being released, hopefully they're going to get better. Like, honestly, I feel like Ashanti, the Adonis has it. He has it. But I feel like Top Dollar and B-Fab need more work. But it's not a hopeless cause. And like I said, under Triple H, I'm pretty sure they're going to get better. And another thing, for people on social media talking about, Hit Row is not going to be the same because Swerve ain't there. Swerve's in AEW. He's doing his thing. Like, Hit Row is not going to be the same. It's better with Swerve. Now, I'll say this. This is what I'll say. Swerve did elevate Hit Row, and that's the reason why they put Swerve and Hit Row together. Because originally it was just Top Dollar, B-Fab, and Ashanti the Adonis. It was just those three. And then they brought Swerve in because of his, first of all, his amazing ring ability and how he is on the mic. And he's just a talented brother. So to put those four together was just going to elevate Hit Row, which was smart. But remember, they were originally three. So 3 OG, is it OG 3 or 3 OG? One of those. I think it 3 OG. Yes, 3 OG. So it was originally those three. So they're the core. I'm pretty sure either Triple H is just going to have them three rock it out, or he might bring someone in to elevate them. But if he does bring someone in to be that, replacement for Swerve, or this might be a way for Triple H to be like, Swerve, come back home, partner, come back home. Like, the whole gang is here, but I highly doubt it. But if Triple H did decide to put like a leader in there like Swerve was for Hit Row before when it was on NXT, that would be dope, even if they had freaking like Carmelo Hayes be that. But he's with Trick, I almost called him Trick Daddy. Trick Williams. They're already doing their thing on NXT right now, so I don't know if that would make sense. But I feel like Carmelo would fit in if they ended up doing that, if he came to SmackDown. So the next segment was the contract signing with Liv Morgan, SmackDown Women's Champion, versus Shayna Baszler, who is the number one contender for the belt. And those two are going to be having a match at Clash at the Castle. So they were going to be having a contract signing. But before that contract signing even happened, what happens? Ronda Rousey comes out. What? She's suspended. Where is she coming from? Yes. And I really do like Ronda Rousey. And quite honestly, I like her better as a heel as opposed to a face. Like, it's just, and it makes sense. And I'm glad that they went that route of making her go heel, because after the whole thing with that stupid win from SummerSlam with Liv Morgan tapping out, and then Ronda Rousey's shoulders being on the mat and like all that, like anyone, it would make sense for Ronda to go heel, especially after she attacked Liv and then attacked the referee and then got suspended. Of course you're going to have a chip on your shoulder. Of course you're going to have a chip on your shoulder. Of course you're going to be upset. So that makes a whole lot of sense. So she came in to the ring. Ronda paid her fine. She like dumped a whole bunch of money on the contract signing table and was just like, I have the money to do it. She gonna do what she want. Like that I like that, because I wasn't expecting Ronda Rousey to show up on SmackDown. So that's pretty dope that she was there. And of course, referees and officials are coming out and just like, you needs to go. And she gets out of the ring, and one of the officials, like she's just like, you need to go. And Ronda grabs her arm, is about to give her an armbar, and they're just like, no, don't do it. Of course, the crowd's like, yeah, because now they're all on Team Ronda. Ronda Rousey is being removed from the premises by WWE officials. Shayna Baszler is coming out for the contract signing, and they have their little run-in. And I feel like that was such a good move, because outside of the ring in real life, they're really good friends. Those two, along with, I believe it's Marina Shafir and Jessamine, I might be saying her name wrong, I'm sorry, Jessamine Duke, all four of them are like the MMA 4 horsewomen. So to see them, Ronda and Shayna interacting was pretty cool. And Ronda was just like, girl, you got soft. Basically, you got soft. And like, who are you? Like, for real. Because Shayna was talking about how you don't have to act like this. Why are you being this way? Like, you don't need to do all this. And Ronda was like, girl, get out of my face. Basically. So I would love to see those two have a match. I hope that is setting something up, because I would love to see Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey in a match. And it better be a pay-per-view match, because that's not a match that you just do on a regular Friday Night Smackdown. That's something that you do for a pay-per-view. I would pay to see that. I would love to see those two go at it in the ring. So I hope that little segment right there, even though it was short, I hope that's setting something up, setting up a storyline or something, because that needs to happen. But anyway, Shayna Baszler comes out, gets in the ring, signs a contract. So Shayna Baszler said that she was going to tear Liv Morgan limb by limb, and that she is next on her list to fall, because she had won the gauntlet match last week. And basically, she is going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. So she just called Liv Morgan out. And then Liv Morgan comes out. And basically, and she has on an arm brace. And she basically says to Shayna that she's a rip-off Ronda Rousey. She's a bootleg Ronda Rousey. And everyone's like, ooh, no, she didn't. She called her rip-off Ronda Rousey. Shots were fired. And then Shayna, she about to freak up that arm, because then she attacks her and she has her arm. She has the injured arm that she's just like, she's doing her NXT Shayna Baszler stuff where she just be bending the arm, and then she got the arm on the mat, and then she step on it, and all. She was freaking up Liv Morgan. Honestly, I hope that Shayna Baszler wins at Clash at the Castle. I would love to see Shayna Baszler in some gold again, because the whole Liv Morgan being a SmackDown Women's Champion, like I said, I like Liv. I do. I like her. I'm happy that she's gotten to this point and she finally is a champion. But I feel like she's not, I don't know. And then Liv Morgan was able to essentially put Shayna Baszler into the table and shake off that whole just brutality of that arm that Shayna was doing. So we're going to see what happens at Clash at the Castle for Shayna Baszler and Liv Morgan. So, of course, because of the whole beef with Drew McIntyre and the Usos, because of the attack that the Usos did on Drew, and then the clapback of Drew on the Usos, they had their match. So it is Drew McIntyre, and then it's Madcap Moss versus the Usos. Now, I did not know that Madcap Moss was good. I did not know this. And a part of it was because of the whole thing with Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss kind of being like sidekick. Typical. But I'm glad that he's now on his own and we're able to see how he is in the ring. And those two together, like I said, I'm not really into, single competitors becoming tag teams, but Drew and Madcap Moss, they did some damage. And of course, Sami Zayn interferes once again because he wants to be a part of the bloodline so bad, but then he ended up, and it worked. The Usos did benefit from the distraction, but in the end, Sami got Claymored because Drew was coming for them and Sami interfered and he got the foot. He got the Claymore, and that's on him. And it was funny because they showed, I'm gonna see if I can get a picture of Drew's face, but he was just like it was so funny. Overall, that match was pretty good. Drew and Madcap Moss, they defeated the Usos in that match, so I was pretty happy about that. So last but definitely not least was the main event, which was the Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and Shinsuke Nakamura. And first things first, I just want to say I am I'm so happy to see the Intercontinental Championship be treated with such respect. I said this before. I remember, I forgot which Monday Night Raw it was, but the whole segment with showing the history of the United States Championship and the veterans who had it before and the meaning of it and how much prestige this belt should have. It's the same thing with the Intercontinental Championship. And the fact that when Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance music came on and he was coming down and he was doing his thing. You know how Shinsuke is. He's so animated. Pat McAfee announcing, he was just like, usually I would basically, in regular layman's terms, he was saying that usually he would dance because, every time Shinsuke Nakamura comes out, Pat McAfee is the the first and only one to get up on the announcement table and start dancing and vibing to Shinsuke's music. But this time he was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. This is basically showing respect to Shinsuke and showing respect to this Intercontinental Championship, because this belt has value and this championship has value, and Shinsuke Nakamura as a wrestler as well as Gunther, they have value. So the fact that he didn't do his dance and stuff like that, I don't even know if that was a thing that Vince was having Pat do or if this was Pat on his own, but I felt like when he would do that, at first it would make me laugh when he would do it, but after a while it was seeming like Shinsuke was seen as a joke, even though he is not a joke at all. So that little details right there matter and make a storyline and make a show so much better. So he was just paying respect. Pat was just paying respect to Shinsuke and paying respect to Gunther and to the match and to the Intercontinental Championship. So I thought that was super dope. Shinsuke Nakamura and Gunther, that match was there was a lot of give and take. There was a lot of back and forth. But at some points, I thought that Shinsuke was going to win. I thought he was going to win the Intercontinental Championship. I remember him he kept kicking and bringing Gunther down to the mat. Oh my goodness. Oh, the power bomb. Like, that Gunther. Oh my gosh. And Shinsuke Nakamura was just targeting Gunther's legs and especially targeting his arm. Just kept going at that arm. I was just like, oh my gosh, is he gonna freaking win? Is Gunther gonna kick out or not? And he did. But in the end, Gunther, with a sleeper in the drop kick, he was able to powerbomb Shinsuke Nakamura and pin for that 1, 2, 3 to retain the Intercontinental Championship. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought about the past SmackDown. Did you enjoy it? What were your favorite parts? Like, what are you looking for next week? Who do you think is going to be coming back on Monday? Who do you think is going to be coming back to WWE on Friday? Let me know your predictions down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe because there are going to be more episodes to come. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Signing off, guys. Bye-bye.